Yeah, man. The great one, right in his town, buddy. This is where he grew up. Played all his young hockey years.
Tell him how late it is and where we're going.
Yes, it's 12 o'clock. We're going to the Brantford Casino. By ourselves, just me and my girl. We got a night out. We're going to the Brantford Casino. We went last night and we got our asses kicked with everybody. Oh, Jesus. So we're going to try it tonight.
And I'm going to get the casino on camera this time for you.
Yes, we're going to, buddy. And we're
Blame Troy, I had a shit battery.
It's true. I died.
One battery. Fucked up. Oh, I better not swear so the kids can watch this.
Rescue Parkway. There we are. We're coming up on it now.
Going too fast.
No, you'll see it. This isn't the Parkway. I want the big sign so you can see it. You'll see it coming up.
Hope this turns out for you, Randy, because it's pitch black out here.
It's not easy today, guys. It's not easy. These videos have been moody lately. Everything's derailing these. I figured it was nice and warm outside today, so we'd make a video. We're gonna do an outtake video at some point, which is gonna be hilarious. Coffee's getting cold, cigars burning low. The videos have been moody lately. So as I try and start this again without my dog barking, because that's, you know, some of these videos, some are moody, some are good. Sometimes we hit gold. I was talking about Discovery Channel and stuff like that recently, and I was just cleaning some things up downstairs, and it just made me think of my dad, his lab. You can see some of that on, if you watch the Ripley's Believe It or Not video on YouTube. You can kind of see how the garage was set up to be a bit of a workshop. He called it the lab. He was doing spider silk and all that. I'm just retreading stuff I've already said before in that last video. Listen, this dude was a nutcase. I love getting into the psychology and some of the goofy shit he got up to. He would be making money from investors, this or that, sometimes illegitimate businessmen. They'd be sending him cash, tens of thousands of dollars. My dad couldn't hold on to a penny of it, you know. It was like water in his hand. You've never seen a man spend money faster. Anyway, as we've discussed before, things were cyclical in his life. He was unable to learn from his mistakes or just outright unwilling. So one thing that he did, and this is a favorite memory of mine because this is the insanity that we had to deal with, early 2000s, so he's still there mentally. He's still cognizant, he's firing on all cylinders, he's doing great. But he would run out of money, right? He would mismanage his finances, and if he wasn't on a contract, there was no money coming in. So get this. This dude would go to a hardware store, right? He'd find chemicals, ingredients, tools, whatever he needed. Now he would have DeWalt's and power drills and tools and very expensive things hung up on the wall in his lab. Some things he used, some were just there for show because he thought it looked cool. Now, at times, okay, follow me on this, at times, he would recognize that he was going to run out of money. At some point in the coming months or years, he would have no money left. Now, he was not going to go get a job. He was going to wait it out, wait out the storm, wait out the winter like a bear, hibernate. So he would intentionally buy tools, power tools, whatever, stuff from the hardware store that were decorating his wall with the sole intention of not using them, of hawking them when times got rough, when he would run out of money. Instead of investing his money and putting it at the bank like a normal human being, this guy would go out and purposely buy expensive things because they looked cool, hang them up, and then he'll go, you know what, this is something great that I can hawk later in the future. How fitting is it that the Ursus Mark 8, I hate that suit, is sitting here at the North Bay Hock Shop. Maybe we'll get into the Hock Shop in this video, I don't know. It's depressing. It's also very cold out, but it's comedic. If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, so we're gonna laugh right now. So following that trend of this man just being in love with the Hock Shop and just selling everything he owned to the Hock Shop multiple times in his life, And bear in mind as well, because they knew about the Hock shop, this was a human being that would early 2000s, he's making money, things are good. He goes into the Hock shop. People hawk things, whatever. Goes, I need to hawk all these tools, makes a couple $100 back. Probably nothing. It's like 10 cents on the dollar, not even. It's a Hock shop. Don't go to them. Then he'd be back a couple months later looking for jewelry. And he'd be spending thousands of dollars he'd spend at Hock shops. I wonder what they always thought. This dude coming in, and because when he go into Hock things, he looked rough. Like, he looked down on his luck. Hair wasn't done. When the hair wasn't done, he wasn't rocking the Patrick Swayze look. He'd have like an Under Armour cap pulled low. He just looked like he was, you know, one foot was in the grave. That guy was riding low. So he'd go to these Hock shops, he'd hawk, but he'd also go to these Hock shops and he'd dump thousands. He was also a man of many addictions, and my God, did he love to gamble. The casino was a favorite, of course, but if he couldn't make it to the casino, he got addicted to scratch tickets. Of all things to get addicted to. Now, he could afford this addiction at this time for a couple of years. He was making, $12,000-13,000 a month easily, sometimes more. He did this for about 2 years straight. That was, when he was absolutely on fire. Like, tremendous sum of money. To some, I would say, for a guy that was just on a couch for a couple of years, not doing much, and then out of nowhere, now he's making 12, 13, some 14,000 bucks Canadian a month, guaranteed. It's not bad. It's pretty good. So he'd go buy scratch tickets, and he loved the thrill of, like, winning the big one, right? And whatever that is, it's different than the lottery. Some scratch tickets you win $5,000 on. Some of the $20 tickets you could win like $1 million on. So there was a good year straight where I think he rolled through North Bay, and when he would do his rounds, it was like a video game. This was nuts. He would go to every single convenience store or place in this city, the city that sold scratch tickets. He would buy them out. This is how bored he was. My dad struggled with that his whole life as well. If he'd get bored, if he wasn't doing things, he would just go into whatever would get the dopamine going, right? In this case, it was scratch tickets. This also goes back to the hawking things and investing in things that are going to give you a 10 cent on the dollar return. Follow me. So he'd go out, and he could afford this. He's doing good. $6,000-7,000 on scratch tickets. Insanity. We could just put that in the bank. We were buying gold. We could invest this. You could lock it into an account. You could buy things. You know what I mean? No. You could buy nice whiskey. Every now and again, he'd buy me a nice whiskey. I was doing Lagavulin for a while. It's like $180 a bottle. Cigars. This is a $5 smoke. He would get into my addictions as well. I love cigars. We were buying, now again, this is cheap to some, but we were buying the Monte Cristos, the Cohibas. Those were like $25 a cigar. We'd buy like $300-400 of that in a go. I have a picture of my humidor loaded. There must be $3,000 in cigars loaded in there. It's funny, the contrast. These cigars are okay. $5-6 a pop. It's a torpedo smoke. A little dry. But spending $25-30 on a cigar and buying a $200 bottle of scotch. Craziness. So he loved doing shit like that. Back to the scratch tickets. Spending $4,000-$7,000. This guy, he would get stoned and he'd sit down with a cup of coffee or a B-52 sometimes. My uncles, if they watch this, you guys are going to laugh because I know you were there at times when he'd do these ticket hauls. And he'd pull out a fucking wad. I'm not joking. Like this thick of tickets. And he'd start counting them. Sometimes he'd get my uncles over, he'd have me, and then his thing was, because he was even crazier, anything you scratch, you get to keep. Why not, right? So he'd pull these things out when he's like, I need to make some money back. And he'd scratch tickets for 10 hours straight. Just riding that high. It will tell you, though, do not waste money on scratch tickets, because for a year straight, he bought the city out. I don't think he won more than $1,000 on a ticket, and I think that's being generous. That's every single ticket that came into North Bay for almost a year. Never won anything on them. But oh my God, but his logic on some of these as well was he goes, I know I might run out of money or need money in the future, so if I invest in scratch tickets, $7,000-8,000, I might get $3,000 back. And that's what he'd look at me, he'd go, that's not too bad, boy, look at that, we made $3,000. And he'd look at me like he just made money. I'm like, but Dad, you spent fucking 10 to get it, right? He'd go, it didn't matter, boy, we had fun doing it. We'll come back to this. It's cold out, my phone's gonna die. We'll come back to this one. I got more to say about this, it's quite funny. That's just a little one into some of the insight and psychology of the old man and some of the weird shit he'd get up to. Scratch tickets. Scratch tickets and Hock shops, man. Good God. What can you say?